Hi, everybody. This is our very first dropping gems and building communities together. On this page, these videos will be short, but they will be direct to the point. So today, I want to talk about why we're not getting rich. I want to tell you the reason why we're not getting rich. Let's start with that first. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say, the question I'm going to ask is why do we people never get rich? And I'm going to tell you why people never get rich. Because they don't train you to think. Society trains you to obey. Okay. School rewards obedience. Okay. Not creativity. You're told to follow instructions and not ask questions. A teacher gets up there and tell you and teach you and tell you what to do. But guess what? You never think outside the box. You never think that there might be another way that you can do something. Straight A students often end up straight line careers. Okay, if you're a straight A student and you said that I like working as an engineer, that is your only focus. Every person must be diverse in different things that you need to do to satisfy your financial needs for your present and your future. Okay, critical thinking is punished, not prized. When you are not a critical thinker, you got to not believe everything someone tell you. You have to think outside of that. You got to have your mind. So if you think, look, this is all the money I got to pay this bill, you don't think outside the box that you can put a little on the bill and always pay yourself first. Okay. Um, the trained workers are not builders. The trained workers. If you're trained at McDonald's just to work on fries, you don't never think about, oh, I want to learn how to do the hamburgers. Oh, I want to learn how to be a cashier. You said, I'm trained over here on the fries. This is where they feel I'm good at. But where do you feel that you fit in? You have to learn those fries. Then you need to tell them within a week and a half, listen, I'm ready to move over to making the sandwiches. I'm ready to be a cashier. If you are just trained for one thing and you don't teach yourself to multitask, you will not go far in what you need to do to accomplish your wealth goals. Yes, you can accomplish being wealthy working at a fast food restaurant. You know how? You learn the business, you learn every position, you move up as a manager, you move up as a owner. They have franchises that if you save money, you could invest a little bit to having your own franchise. Okay, they shame you for wanting more. You go to your boss and you tell your boss, look, I want a raise. And they said, well, you only been here 6 months. And you need to say, well, I've been very diverse in working here. I come to work on time every day. I know how to multitask. So I would like a raise. But when you want a raise, they shame you. You've been here 6 months. Don't, if someone treats you like that, then you know it's time to change careers, change courses, because that means you've outgrown what they're trying to teach you. Wanting money, they will say you're greedy. Always have different ways of making money. I don't care if you're helping children in school with homework, that's a tutoring job. They have places that they will pay you $65 to $75 an hour to train a child online. Okay. Then when you want freedom, they call you lazy. Listen, I might be too old to start a new business, but guess what? Make sure you train your kids in the way they should go. And that means having financial freedom, okay? You were raised to feel guilty for thinking bigger. We were. In my generation, we could not think bigger. We were raised to get out there and work and help the people behind you. But you got to think bigger. And that's what I mean about pay yourself first. That's the most important thing when it comes to finances. I know you might owe your light, gas, water. Listen, if you owe your light bill $400, pay them 450. I mean, if you owe them $500, pay them 450 and put the other 50 in savings. That's what you do. Your light bill $500. pay $4.50 and put your $50 in your savings. Always pay yourself something first. I know your bills are essential, but always put a little aside for yourself. And I'm not talking about to go on a cruise. I'm not talking about to go on vacation. I'm talking about to excel in your life, okay? Meanwhile, the rich buy cash flow. See, let me tell you the number one thing that will make you rich. Land. Having land. Having land, even if it's nothing on it, because later on you can liquidate assets that you own that nobody knew you owned. Hey Jacqueline, hey, talking shit with Shayna, hey Aquarius. Fact, small-minded thinking is so prevalent. It is. Let me take this gun out. They distract you. You know what? Society distracts you. You know why? They distract you with cars. They distract you with a house. They distract you with upgrading your kitchen. But guess what? The rich will live simply. Simply while you're trying to live like your next door neighbor. She got a new kitchen. You tell your husband, honey, 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 I need a new kitchen. You don't need it. You want it. And we got to distinguish our needs and our want. And guess what? America has made us want that we don't distinguish our needs, okay? They trick you into buying liabilities and disguise it as success. What I mean by that, you know that all the cars coming out are Escalades. You're driving in a Kia. You decide, hey, I got to get an Escalade because everybody got one. Well, society just tricked your eyes and made you spend money over there on the Escalade when the Kia was running fine. So, and then they tell you, oh, if you have an Escalade, you look good, good, good. But what's the use of having an Escalade? Because as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. It's not worth what it was sitting on that car line. Okay. America, they sell you dreams, okay? Then make you chase discounts. You can have this, you can have that, you can have that. You really know without someone telling you what you can have. But you know what? You chose to have what the Joneses have. And now at the end, you'll have nothing. Nothing. You can't, when you die, you can't take that with you. But when you die, you got to remember you're leaving. Your goal is to leave the next generation something. And you got to teach the generation that you always must leave the next generation something. But not if you living high off the hog. And if you can't afford the maintenance, you can't afford the luxury car. That is absolutely. I got a brother who have a Jaguar. The oil change is $900 just for the oil change, okay? You finance a degree. How many of y'all have went to college, graduated from college, and still owe on your college loans? You work 40 years to retire. Look what's happening now. You're about to retire, and the money that you're going to get for retirement is not enough. You hunt for sales and coupon codes because you lived so lavishly when you were in good health and had good wealth. And now you have slowed down and you have less money. You call that security? Do you call that security? No. Hunt for the coupons now. Don't be ashamed. Hunt for the coupons now. Buy what you need, not what you want. You were sold a dream and then fed survival. You, for example, I got this big house, I got cars, I got all of this. But guess what? Something happens. I die. And my family don't get this money. And what happens? My big house has to be sold because of bills. My cars have to leave. What have I left my generation behind me? Oh, let me tell you a little secret. They said white men die with wills, black men die with bills. Let's change that scenario. You don't have to die with bills. Listen, They got insurances right now that you can put on your credit cards that if you pass away, all that debt is gone. Get it on your house. Get it on your car. Your car, it's called gap insurance. You get that. You got a job, get Aflacs. All that stuff works, but guess what? They make it funny. So black people look at the little dancing duck and say, hey, I ain't getting involved in that. Black men look at General Insurance. You know, the one that Shaq is doing. It's the General and laugh. Oh, I'm not going to get that with no cartoon character. But that is a signal for the people who are going to be rich. You don't have to spend all that money over there. Yeah, just go to the General and we'll get the people over here to buy all this insurance. Trust me. Okay, they normalize a 40-year financial slavery. That's what it is. The average person is not working to 20 years anymore. They're working to 30 years, 35 years right now. They're telling you that at 62, it's not wise to get your Social Security. Wait to 67. Well, how do you know you're going to live to 67? Because if you die, your money goes right into a pot for somebody else. Okay? Wake up, commute, and clock in. Wake up. Why do you think that people over there living better than? Because they're teaching their next generation. You don't have to have everything now. Work for it, put it aside, work for it, put it aside. Most white people in my area, they make their children start to work at 15 and a half. That whole year until they're 15 and a half, you know what those kids are saving for? A car. Even though the parents can just go and get them one off the lot, they make them earn it. But we don't do that. We do the sweet 16 parties. When have you seen a white person have a big sweet 16? You know, you paying $100,000 for, Usher to come and you doing all this. I've never seen a white sweet 16 party. It's always the black folks. You want a party, party, party. And guess what? At the end of the day, you'll be thinking about that $100,000 to Usher. He already rich. In a couple of months down the line, that you could have used that money for something else, but you chose to party, party, party. Okay, so now you need to take a vacation once a year. If you're lucky, change environments, learn to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Just don't sit around and don't do nothing. I don't care if you do a staycation. Don't read no, don't fucking go to no parties. Stay home, collect your mind, rest your brain, rest your body. Do planning, clean your house, clean your environment, no cluttering. All of this will help you think better, be better. Okay. They make us out of slaves and they make slavery look noble. Hey, there's not only black slaves in America today, there are white slaves. There are more of the Caucasian people on, food stamps and TANF more than anybody. Don't be fooled that it's just black folks. They push college. Well, we need college. Is that what you're saying? No. We should be pushing capital. We should be pushing, savings. Everybody that is millionaires and billionaires did not go to college, okay? They don't teach you no class in investing. They don't teach you no lessons about tax. They don't talk to you about assets. What they do is teach you that you must go to work. You must go to college. It's all a game. It's all a game. It's good to have a degree under your belt. But guess what? Why don't you take your idea from thinking and create something that's sellable, nurture it, teach yourself bookkeeping, teach yourself finance, teach yourself business law, teach yourself business ethics, teach yourself about the tax guide, teach yourself about business plans. You can get all these things for $7. Let me tell you where you can get this. Barcode.com, barcharts.com. Go look that up. Go look up for business plans. They will send you this. This is no more than $8. $8 that you can take a quiet Saturday and do it teaches a quick study. It teaches the front matter, executive summary. It teaches you about fixed rates. It talks about balance sheets, expenses. When you go into business like me, let me tell you what I do. I read about everything I want to do first. So when I go buy a car, you can't tell me nothing that I don't know about a car. I know that you can take money off of that. I know if you want me to buy that bad enough, I will show great interest in the car. And then I say, oh, let me sleep on it. And then I don't call them back the next day. You know what they'll do? They'll call me and say, hey, I can get a deal for you. Don't walk in there and buy a car off the floor because they tell you it's $71,000. They can take at least $8,000 off of that car. You got to play the game. You have to play the game because you don't know about finance and taking money off of their money. You can do that, okay? You were trained to get degrees and not dividends, but it's not too late. How can I get an LLC? I want to rent my condo out. That's so easy. What I'll do is come back and talk about that, but it's so easy and it don't cost as much as people say it does. Okay. First off, I want you, number one, I want you to call the IRS and get an IEN number right away. Okay. And then I want you to call down and get a business license. Anybody that's renting your condo, I need you to make sure they have renter's insurance, okay? And then guess what? I will talk about getting a LLC later on today. I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna finish this so that I can get on to the next one. Do you know that the rich, they fail weekly? They use us as workers to strategize their accomplishments and strategize their mistakes. But a good CEO, a good person that is rich, want to get down and see what you're doing in their business. They don't want just somebody else to come out and teach about their business. Hey, I've had bosses that will come and walk on the floor to see if you're getting everything right. Okay. Let me make sure because these are going to be like short videos, but they're going to talk about things you need. They teach you to trade time. 40 hours a week. I need overtime instead of teaching you how to trade money, which is investing. Right? This is society. Society teaches you how to trade time. Working 40 hours, I need more than 40 hours instead of trading money, instead of learning how to invest. I'm going to tell you how to learn how to invest. Invest in penny stocks first. Play with the stocks. Read about it. Play with it on your own. It's just a penny. And once you think you got the hang of it, don't just let your employer say, I'm going to invest, part of your pay over here, and then I'm going to add $1 to your pay. You learn how to invest your own money. Work harder, grind longer. To be rich, you don't have to work harder or grind longer. You have to educate yourself and know what you're talking about when you do it. Time is value, but time is infinite. You will be working forever if you do not know how to trade money. You will be working forever. I stopped working at the age of 40. You were sold a strategy and then you scaled back because you felt like, okay, I'm gonna work this 40 hours. I'm on salary. That's a trick of the devil right there. Salary. That means they can work your hind parts for 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and you still don't get the same dollar. That's the devil in the game. Okay. They glorify retirement after they steal your prime years. You know what my husband used to say? How you doing? You know how what my husband used to say? I can't wait till I get 60 so I can retire. I can retire. I can retire. Well, my husband didn't get to retire at the age of 60, but he always was talking about, I'm tired of this job. Oh, I wish I could stay home. I wish I can do this. And he ended up losing his leg. And guess what? At that time, he didn't want to retire after he realized he could not go back to work. So you act like you're going to retire tomorrow. How do you act like you're going to retire tomorrow? Is that you're going to save. I don't care if you're 40 or 50, 60 is not too late to save. Pick up art, pick up something that's going to make yourself satisfied. Cut back your hours, change your living arrangement. Listen, I know people out here that got $1 million houses. When they become an old couple, they don't stay in the big house. They downsize. They put money in their bank. Do not get tricked with this old they got this where you can take money out of your house. Don't ever let somebody tell you to do that. I just want my own. I make these people millions. That's what I'm saying. You said you're tired. You work 67 hours a week. Are you on salary? I wish I could. You can. You can. You just got to say no a little bit more and cut back on your spending, okay? Because I can tell you, uh, that was the hardest thing for me till I just had to tell my children no more. The ATM is closed. I had to say that. Work till you're 65. Enjoy life when you're old. That's a trick of the devil. You don't want to do that because your youth is gone. Your energy is traded. If you right now are in your 40s and you're saying you're tired right now, what in the world are you going to do when you retire? You're going to be tireder. Learn to say no. Learn to put money aside. Don't let them tell you how to save money. Do it on your own. Like I said, here, we're going to go back to this business plan over here. This business plan right here. See this business plan? This business plan don't only mean a business plan for you to open up a business. Make yourself a business. You are the business. This is what you do. You got to have goals. You got to have strategies. You got to have financial projections, like how long, what you're going to need when you're not working no more. You're going to have operational details in case you get hurt. Who's going to pay this? Who's going to pay that for you? All this serves as a map on how you can retire. I'm not telling you a dream. I'm telling you it can be done. I stopped working at 40 and I put my money in a trust. And guess what? My trust pays me every month. I'm my beneficiary. And then I got other beneficiaries. I don't let no one control my money. And guess what? When my husband got hurt, my husband didn't get paid for 6 months. He didn't. But guess what? With me strategizing my future life, what's going to be done, I was able to take my own money and pay everything. And when they gave him this big, large sum on the 7th month, I took it and paid myself back. You gotta loan yourself money and pay yourself money back. Don't just borrow, and don't pay yourself back. And I do. You are your priority, not your children. I know they tell you, Ma, I need this, I need that, I need that. That's the time you sit down and say, you know what? You come to me every month for about $200 or $300. Let's sit down. Tell me what you do with your money. I bet you they don't want to tell you. I bet you your kids will say, well, I got to do that to get $200 for you. No, you're borrowing from my fixed income. So I need to know why you need this money every month. Well, maybe you're buying things you shouldn't be buying. Maybe you're splurging where you shouldn't be splurging. We have to discipline ourselves. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do that. But I can tell you, my kids come to me, baby. They not asking me for no $100, $200, $300. It's always over five. Not my oldest daughter, because guess what? I taught my oldest daughter all that I know. And guess what? She's become particular about where she's spending her money. She will buy, you know what my daughter did? My daughter was 24 years old and she owned 2 condos. Yep, she owned one. She lived in one, slept in one. It's the truth, though. Thank you for your wisdom. Yes, rent college kids' grandma. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, the way I was raised in New York, it was 13 of us. I have 12 brothers, right? My father told us when we were 15 and we had to work, you want to stay in this house, you got to put money back in this house. So they would say, Micah, you got the light bill this month. Jerome, you got the rent, this and this. Where my parents were able to save money, but unfortunately, they didn't make it to spend that money. They didn't make it. You got to splurge on yourself, date yourself. That's another thing. You single people, you know what happens? You can't get in a relationship because you're dating your grown kids. And that's sad. A lot of my girlfriends, they date their kids, meaning that they don't get to go nowhere. They stuck in the house babysitting while my kid out running the street. I won't do that. You know what happens what society do to us? And this is very important, y'all. They keep you entertained, but empty. Let me say this again. They keep you entertained, but empty. Empty means focusing on you. You're focusing on the Diddy trial. You're focusing on what happened on TV. You're focusing on everything except planting the flowers, growing them, and sniffing them. And I'm going to tell you, University with Marie is an accountant, and she can also help you because we're going to be having different guests. Okay, so listen to this. Endless shows, games, and content. Dopamine is your discipline. Mind numbed. Your mind is numbed by what you have to do for yourself because you're so busy focused on everything else. You're focusing on your children. You're focusing on your rent, light, gas, water, this, blah, blah, blah. You focus on all of that, but you ain't focused on one moment of me time, what I need to do for me. You're not focused on that. Meaning, what you can do for you is take a good walk and save your money. Go eat some ice cream at the 31 flavor place and think about how you're going to do that business plan for yourself, for you, make you your business. While you out there binging with your money, the other people are building. See, when I was growing up, I remember my friends went to the Prince show, and I had the money to go, but then I was like, oh my God, I want to see this other singer, and I couldn't do both. So what I did was they went to Prince, and I was able to go to the concert that I wanted. And they didn't want to go to my concert. But being a New Yorker, you get diverse in music. I loved Beth Midler. I loved Barbara Streisand. And so I wanted to go to that. Well, y'all, they went to Prince, was all the way in the back. When I went to Barbara Streisand and Bette Midler, I lucked up and was able to sit in the front where I met Bette Midler and Barbara Streisand. See, you sometimes when you rush to spend your money, you miss the special things. So I invested it, and my ticket was cheaper, and I was able to save my money, go out and get something to eat. But my friends, when it was time for us to go get something to eat, they had no money because they spent it all on Prince. Think I'm a nasty girl? Oh, yeah. Okay. Why you binging on all that fun stuff? Other people are building and getting ready for them to age gracefully and live intact. Okay. Your distraction is taking your profitability. You have distractions all over, but it's taking your profitability because you didn't focus on yourself. You was distracted by the bull lang lang when you should have been focused on yourself. And you know what? They never taught you how to do money, how money works, but they taught you how to get money, but they never taught you how it works. Did any of your teachers teach you what inflation was? Did any of your teachers teach you what bank profit was? Did any of your teachers teach you what tax code was designed for? Did any of your teachers teach you what to do with your paycheck? Ignorance keeps you employed until you die. But saving and enjoying your life for a moment keeps you living. And the knowledge that I'm going to share with you on this page will set you free. It will set you free. I will be 60 in August. And if me and my husband want to go eat in New Orleans, we jump on a plane early that morning. We go down there and we get us some food, walk around a little bit, and we jump right back on the plane the same day. Because we learn to put ourselves before we put anything else. We're not going to stress out. You want to live the kind of life that you can get up and do whatever you want on that day. 60 years old. I'm not worrying about no damn lights, no gas, no water. I'm not worrying about no job because I'm going to tell you why. If you was to die today, your position will be filled in 2 days. The work must go on. Okay? You were never meant to get rich. You were meant to be predictable. Society don't want us rich. They want to be able to predict every move we're going to make. But it's when you go outside the box. They want you to be obedient. Society does. They want you to be dependent on society because it may not be no Social Security. But what do you have outside of that? But now you know, burn that damn playbook. Burn it. Think outside the box. Put you before you put you, meaning your kids, your bills. Put you first. Write your own rules. Because if you don't, you'll die with loneliness. What you think you're doing when you give your kids and your grandkids everything? When they're gone, you look around, it's just you. And your problems would not be more important than them living their lives. Not just your kids, your employer and people in society won't give a damn about how you're living because you're old and you're going to die anyway. So let me answer this right quick before we get up off of here, because I'm going to make okay. So Aquarius, let me answer some of your questions a little bit. Hey, Mimi. Y'all, Mimi came to my house yesterday. If you Google how to start an LLC, and I want you to um, do it, I want you to go to a lawyer, and I'm gonna tell you why. But it's gonna be so cheap, you're gonna be amazed. You go to LegalZoom. Let me tell you. Let me put it here. Go to LegalZoom. Okay. Before you do your LLC, I want you to know that you can start your LLC for a minimum of $39. Minimum, okay? And a LLC is called a limited liability company, right? And you got to have it structured by your state, okay? So I want you to Google how to create an LLC. Then it's going to tell you about your state. When you pull it up on your phone, it's going to tell you about your state, DC, Hawaii, wherever you might be, because you got to follow it by the state you're going to be doing your business in. Um, yep, I know the real reason they came out with birth certificates. And let me tell y'all another thing that you know that number for your birth certificate? That's your money. You are an asset to the government. Put a one in the chat if y'all already knew that. Put a one in the chat if you didn't know those little numbers on your on your birth certificate, the little and your social security card. You know the number that's in red? That's your account. That is your account for your money. Okay, hold on. You don't believe me? Hold on. Let me show you. The numbers on the birth certificate analyzes an account. They said the statement is incorrect, but listen, birth certificates contain a unique serial number for record keeping and identification purposes. So, what do you think record keeping means? But they do not directly analyze or connect to any financial account. That's a lie. The numbers on a birth certificate, such as serial numbers, help organize and track birth records. That's a lie. Okay, here you go. You have numbers on your social security card on the back, those red numbers. What do they mean? The red numbers on the back of a social security card are not a separate piece of information, but rather the social security number itself. The social security number is printed in red on the card to differentiate it, and others says Social Security Administration. The 9 number is made up of 3 parts: the area, the group, the number, and the serial number. The area number represents geographical regions where the card was issued. The group number is the 2-digit within the area. And I'm going to tell you, they don't want to tell you. That number is truly registered to a bank account of you, for you, is where you would get your reparations from. But the government don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that. You better, what's the real reason for those birth certificates? Everyone got one, but especially the Black people. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it. I love y'all. I told you these videos are going to be short. And then any topics y'all want to talk about, let me know. This is the very first video for this. Yeah, I will show you that is true. I will show you. in our next video. Thank you. Y'all come back again. Bye-bye.